Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sushma.B.V. I am currently pursuing Master of Business Administration at Sri Venkateshwara Institute of Technology. In this video I am discussing about types of hypothesis. What is hypothesis? Hypothesis is a suggested idea or plan that has a little proof meant to lead to more study. It's mainly a smart guess or suggested answer to a problem that can be checked through study and trial in science work. We make guess called hypothesis to try and figure out what will happen in test watching. These are not sure thinking but rather ideas that can be proved or disapproved based on real life proofs. It is made using what we already know and have seen, and it is the basic for scientific research. A clear guess tells us what we think will happen in experiment or study. It is testable clue that can be proved true or wrong with real life facts and checking it out carefully. It usually looks like if then rule showing the expected cause and effect relationship between what's being studied. Now we can know about characteristics of hypothesis. Here are some key characteristics of hypothesis. Testable. In testable, an idea should be made so it can be tested and proven true through doing experiment or watching. It should show a clear connection between things. And specific. It need to be easy and on target talking about a certain part on connection between things in a study. Logical and rational. It should be based on things we know now or have seen, giving a reasonable reason that fits with what we already know. Predictive. A guess often tells what to expect from an experiment or observation. It gives a guide for what someone might see if the guess is right. Concise. It should be short and clear, showing the suggested link or explanation simply without extra confusion. And grounded in research. In this, a guess is usually made from before studies, idea or watching things. It comes from a deep understanding of what is already known in that idea. And next is flexible. In flexible, a guess helps in research, but it need to change or fix when few information come up. Relevant. It should be related to question or problems being studied, helping to direct what the research is about. Empirical. Hypotheses come from observation and can be tested using methods based on real world experience. And types of hypothesis. Here are some types of hypothesis like simple hypothesis, complex hypothesis, directional hypothesis, non-directional hypothesis, null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis, statistical hypothesis, research hypothesis, associative hypothesis, and causal hypothesis. Now discuss we one by one types of hypothesis. In that first, simple hypothesis. Simple hypothesis guess a connection between two things. It says that there is a connection or difference between variables, but it does not tell us which way the relationship goes. And next type of hypothesis is complex hypothesis. In this, tell us what will happen when more than two things are connected. It looks at how different things interact and may be linked together. Directional hypothesis. In directional hypothesis, say how one thing is related to another. For example, it guesses that one thing will help or hurt another thing. Non-directional hypothesis. In this non-directional hypothesis are the one that don't say how the relationship between things will be. They just say that there is a connection without telling which way it goes. And null hypothesis. In the hypothesis, it's one of the important hypothesis. Null hypothesis is a statement that says there is no connection or difference between different things. It implies that any seen impact or because of luck or random changes in the information. Alternative hypothesis. In alternative hypothesis is different from the null hypothesis and shows that there is a big connection or gap between variable. Scientists and want to say no to the null hypothesis and choose the alternative one. In statistical hypotheses are used in math testing and include making idea about what groups or bits them look like. You aim to get information or test certain things using these top level common words only. In research hypothesis is also important types of hypothesis. It's come from the research question and tells what link is expected between things or factors. It need the study and choose where to look more closely. Associative hypothesis. In associative hypothesis, guess that there is a link or connection between things without really saying it caused them. It means that when one thing changes, it is connected to another thing changing. Causal hypothesis. In causal hypothesis are different from other idea because they say that one thing cause another. This means there is a cause and effect relationship between variables and involved in the situation, and that says that when one thing changes, it directly makes another thing change. How hypothesis helps in statistic research? You know that researchers use hypothesis to put down their thoughts, directing how the experiment would take place. Following are the steps that are involved in scientific method. Initiating investigation. Hypotheses are the beginning of science research. They come from watching, knowing, and what's already known or asking questions. This makes scientists make certain explanation and that need to be checked with tests. Initiating investigation. Hypotheses are the beginning of science research. They come from watching, knowing, and what already known are asking questions. And in formulating research questions, ideas usually come from bigger question in study. They help scientists make these questions more exact and testable, guiding the study and mind point, and setting clear objective. Hypothesis sets the goals of a study by starting that what we think will happen between different things. They set the goals that scientists want to reach by doing these studies. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share and subscribe.